I'm pretty sure you know how this goes.
Yeah, I've seen a few videos of yours.
Oh, thank you. And don't mind Shelly. She's just an evil, nasty INTJ that's just nasty, venomous, despicable INTJ. You know, the demons that everybody talks about. But
That's what I get on all my tests, though I'm not sure.
oh, don't tell us nothing.
Oh,
God
well,
damn it.
I don't think that's what I am.
Okay, so we're starting. Okay, so Amy, can you introduce yourself? Is this not right?
Well, I'm Amy.
Let me resize this.
I'm 51-year-old female. I live in the southeast United States, so you can get an idea of what culture I'm in right now, and I don't really know what else to say about myself.
Yeah, say that again. I wasn't paying attention. I had to resize it. I just changed the settings on my OBS, so kind of like I looked at it and it's like all fucked up. But can you introduce yourself again, Amy? I'm so sorry about that.
That's fine. I'm Amy, and I'm 51, and live in the U.S., southeast U.S. Thought that might be important because I'm surrounded by a certain type of people, and it's hard not to be influenced by that. I'm just self-employed. I sell fabrics on eBay. Really into fitness and nutrition and all that. Huberman Lab is my favorite podcast.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what got you into MBTI sphere?
Back in 2008, I think it was, started studying different religions and philosophies from around the world. And I came across Carl Jung kind of by accident. I had a dream, and I don't know if it was probably subconscious, but the dream involved some person that I thought at the time spoke German, and there was alchemy symbols and all that kind of stuff, and I got curious about it, looked into it, and one thing led to another. Got into Carl Jung's typology, and been somewhat obsessed off and on since then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you want to be remembered for?
Overcoming obstacles. I've had a lot of obstacles to overcome, and I think I've been pretty tenacious and adaptable. I've had to deal with these creatively and in unconventional ways. Compared to other people, I may not seem successful, but considering where I've come from, I think I am very successful.
If it takes me a minute to ask another question, it's because I'm writing stuff down just to make points. Let's see. How was your childhood?
There was a lot of trauma, not from my family. Well, there was, religious stuff going on there. It's kind of a cult. But a lot of the trauma came from puberty time, adolescence, early adolescence, some institutional abuse, and lost some friends, and there was some, drug abuse and substance abuse. I was kind of I didn't behave well. I was very rebellious and angry and didn't really fit in.
Why do you think you didn't fit in?
Just weird. I didn't know how to act with people. Like the furthest I got with playing with other kids was parallel play. I'm still content to do that. Like I like being in the same room and doing things but not together, like do separate things. And most activities I don't want to participate in if it involves other people.
If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for?
Sanity for everybody. The ability to, I would like for everybody to be able to think critically. And I guess I would wish for really good health. And I'd like to sit on that third one for a bit, see what better things I can come up with. I'm of the belief that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be right now, and it will, continue to be that way.
What is something you're proud of, and why?
I'm proud of the progress I've made with individuation. I used to be a lot more dysfunctional, and now I am doing a lot better. I get along with people a lot better, and I'm more conscious of my behavior and my effects on other people around me. I have more clarity, more confidence. Proud of being in the good health, considering what I put my body through and my tendencies to want to sit on my butt sometimes.
If you were able to be born in any time period, what time period would you want to be born in?
Well, during the Age of Enlightenment, that would have been pretty cool. Or back when, the Library of Alexandria was still around before all the books got burned, and when people were excited about education.
That's I've never heard that answer before. Out of all the times I've asked that, I've never heard that one. If you were given a choice to be able to get $10 million, let's amp that up, $500 million, or you could go back to the age 6, which one would you choose and why?
Back to age 6 with the wisdom that I've got now. I've seen that post on Facebook recently, and I was like, oh, that's kind of hard because I didn't enjoy that time of my life. It was hard. But if I went back with the wisdom I have now, I would definitely fare a lot better mentally. I think I would choose that.
Go back.
Because the money, you can just, it's not always easy to make money, but it's obtainable. Wisdom is much harder to get and worth a lot more.
Pretty good response. What's 3 words someone would say about you?
Well, I've got 3 words from my significant other. He said kind, inquisitive, and reserved. My son said I'm self-aware, intelligent, and understanding. I've also heard pragmatic, strong-willed, independent.
So what is something that stresses you out?
Groups. And stress, I don't see it as necessarily bad. I think that it needs to exist in order for me to grow. So I try to put myself in stressful situations almost on a daily basis. But that being said, I do get pretty stressed out when I'm in groups of people, especially when it's sudden. I haven't had time to prepare. I'm not really big on surprises and changes in my routine. I'm kind of have a lot of anxiety, and knowing what's going to happen helps with that.
Mm-hmm.
Not always very adaptable. When it comes to leaving the house, usually it has to do with leaving the house or being around people. Otherwise, I kind of enjoy surprises.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See them as a challenge.
What has been the biggest challenge for you?
Mental illness
Mm-hmm.
and autism. At least that's what is on my medical records.
Oh, wow. Wow. You seem like a pretty smart person to me.
Thank you.
What do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years from now, I would like to be certified in typing. I'm not really sure which system that I'm wanting to do, but I really like the Linda Barrens system, and well, I guess it's based on John Beebe's system as well. I really like Harry Morell's CBT or CPT, cognitive personality theory system.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. He breaks things down. One of the features of it is cognitive pairing, and I like the potential it has for maybe typing people that are neurodivergent.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it would be able to do that more precisely than just regular MBT.
Yeah. So can you explain that? I've heard of him before. He typed one of my friends at ESFP, and he's clear as day at INTJ. So I'm not too into his thing. But could you explain it for me? What it's all about?
I'll try my best. I've watched the videos twice through. It takes me a bit of time to absorb information and be able to give it back clearly. It's in my head. It's just hard to communicate, and I don't want to misinform. One of the things about it is the cognitive pairings, like, say, we'll just take an INTJ, for example. You got the cognitive pairing of introverted intuition and introverted feeling, and there's a certain attitude or flavor that gives compared to SI and FI. That's how he could, tell the difference between an INTJ and an ISTJ. He said that the SI and FI tend to be warmer than NI, FI. There's a lot of spectrum things on there. Like if a person is like an SE Dom, they can kind of dip into SI sometimes and slide along that spectrum. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah,
it's really interesting. It's intriguing.
Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, what I've noticed is the difference between ISTJs versus INTJs. ISTJs they seem to be more functional in society. As an INTJs, not so well, and it's due to that pragmatic nature they have. That nature to want to be rebellious. That nature to want to be alone. It's really hard to get them to do things, but I think INTJs just have to realize that they function better in a team than they do alone. They'll get better results that way. If they try to do it by themselves, they can go somewhere, but they won't go where they want to go.
Yeah, I'm learning that. I don't know what type I am, but I'm learning that my goals they require me to learn how to interact with other people. I'm not going to get farther than I am now, and I really want to. I feel like at 51, I have not met. There's just so much more I can do, and for me to do those things, I've got to become more comfortable around people and learn how they work. Which is, one of the things I'm really interested in MBTI for is to learn how to interface with other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes me sound like a robot, but you know, that's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to kind of predict what people are going to do, and you know, like C.S. Joseph talks about social engineering. I like that concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I've noticed about the social engineering is, I think there's a lot more. Well, I think, and it's just my thoughts. I think what C.S. Joseph does is he sells people a dream. ENTPs are very good at selling people a dream. To like, oh, you do this, and you'll be able to socially engineer somebody. And the thing is about being able to socially engineer someone, it takes a specific parameters for them to fall for something. You know, like if Shelly is super busy, and I'm trying to socially engineer her, it's gonna be fucking hard as hell because she's super busy. You know, the person has to be kind of vulnerable to a certain extent. So I just think it's, I mean, can you do things that will help you? Yeah, but I think it's a lot more going on. Like if you find out someone's an FI user, you can approach them from an FE perspective, and they'll probably like that, you know. But I think deep down, everyone likes an FE perspective. I don't care what the person is. I just noticed that in the wiring of people. Like everybody wants to feel good, you know, and they like people that make them feel good. That's why I think ENFPs are like one of the most loved types of all, because they just know how to make people feel good. But that's just my thoughts. Let's see.
Are you married?
I have a significant other. It's a domestic situation.
Do you ever have like in the beginning of that or currently, do you ever have any sort of like concerns with him, or do you find yourself to be rather trusting?
I observed him for 6 months. We do some tabletop gaming, and before I even expressed interest, I watched him, and was actually friends with his mom. She didn't even know that I had like interest in him. Nobody knew. He didn't know, and I just watched for 6 months, and I determined that he had a lot of integrity. He happens to be an ENFP, and lots of integrity, and you know, just a very creative person that I can talk to about anything. There's always been a lot of trust there. I mean, I trust him implicitly, and that's not been challenging, which for me, trusting other people is a huge deal. I don't open, it takes me years to get to know somebody and actually consider them a friend. But with him, it was, I don't know, I guess the chemistry was there. Yeah. Just knew he was a good dude.
Okay. Let's say, what is how do
you ever question authority?
Man, ever since I was, I guess, right around the age of 13, I really started to question it. Before that, I was somewhat compliant. I was pretty compliant, although looking back, I realized that there were times where I didn't mean to be. I didn't go out of my way to be non-compliant. I just wanted to do my own thing and didn't realize there were certain rules that, you know, so I broke them. But when I was 13, I started getting very angry. You know, the whole religious upbringing was very repressive, and it wasn't healthy. And I just kind of exploded at that point and started acting out a lot. Got put in special ed for behavioral issues. And I guess I've calmed down since then. I mean, it's to my benefit to get along with authority sometimes, so I do. But if there's no reason for me to go out of my way and the rules are stupid, then I'll do what I want.
So inside of a business or a job, where do you see yourself?
while I work for myself and I'm the only person, see, that's another thing. I want employees. I want to grow my business, but I had this whole social anxiety thing, and I'm not good at working with other people. So if I was past that, if I was better at communicating or just being around people, I would see myself as the owner of a, I don't know, small, medium business. Who knows? I have ideas, but that whole, social anxiety thing. I don't work well for other people. I've had jobs working for other people, and I want to work at my own pace. I want to use my own ideas, and sometimes they don't care if the work is mediocre. They're not interested in, me doing any extra things, and I like to do extra sometimes. I like to strive to be the best.
Can I ask you a question? Give me 3 things you're paranoid about.
Paranoid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. One of the major things is the states the states in the area that we live in are going to maybe oh God, what's the word? I can't think of the word now. But they're gonna leave the United States and go off on their own, and they'll have like some nut job president or government. They're just going to be a bunch of religious fanatics, and that scares the crap out of me. That's one of my big paranoias. Sometimes I think people might get one over on me, so I'm kind of hyper vigilant when it comes to people's motives. I guess I don't trust people's motives that well. And third thing, what am I paranoid about? Third thing. I tend to be science oriented. I like evidence based things, and I'm more paranoid about things that are not that. Then I'll get vaccinated. I follow the science of things. I like to, if I'm gonna, be in the wrong, I'd rather err on that side of the fence. So things that make me paranoid are like, just religious people that aren't rational.
What is the ideal job for you?
One that I'm working by myself.
But you got
really
like a job. Like you can say any job in the world. What's the ideal job for you?
Research, psychiatry, psychology.
Okay, so we're gonna pick psychology. So what are 3 skills that you have that would make you a great psychiatrist?
For some reason, I'm really good at remembering what drugs and their names, their effects, and all that. I'm very fascinated with entheogens and the effects of hallucinogens on the brain, and really interested in the nervous system. There's a lot of interest there, a lot of passion there, I would say. The only thing with something like that is, English comp. I stress out really bad when I take that because they want you to follow rules and when you're writing, and that's hard. I'm good at just focusing on something, and I know psychiatry requires a lot of education, and if it, once I got past the whole English comp thing, I would be hyper focused on the more interesting material.
Okay, so what is the last book you've read?
Oh, last book I read, Dario Nardi's the Magic Diamond.
Oh, you actually read the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. I'm still reading on it, but it's there. It's not finished though. I've actually got a few books like that I'm reading. The one that I finished all the way through was Ryan Holiday's "The Obstacle Is the Way."
I've read that book too. It's actually really good. He's a protege of Robert Greene. The Obstacle Is the Way.
That Robert Greene, that thing above your head, is that the not 48 Laws of Power?
No. That's just the flag for the Mongolian mindset.
Oh, okay.
Not the flag for Mongolian's mindset. It's the flag for like Mongolia.
Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, what are a couple things you personally took from The Obstacle Is the Way?
The main thing is I look at everything as if something's uncomfortable, I look at it as an obstacle, and I try to figure out ways to deal with it that try to allow that to make me more creative and problem solving. I kind of get excited about obstacles now. When there's a challenge, it's like, yeah, I'm going to beat this. That's, some of the attitude that was imparted to me from reading that. I mean, I was already kind of there when I read it. I'm into Stoicism, and, that's perspective is everything to me, how I perceive things. So that was something that was already there. The book just kind of pushed me over the edge.
So I want to ask you, when you were a kid, what did you want to be and why? And if you didn't achieve that, do you think you will go for that later, or you think that you're giving up on that? Like, what's that?
I wanted to be an entomologist. I really like insects. And I did consider getting into that, but more I'd like to get into entomophagy, which is the consuming and eating of insects. I think that there's a future there. But, insects are hard to keep alive, especially some of the edible ones. And that would be, a lot of overhead and frustration and stuff, but I'm not really interested. Actually, I'm more interested in like mycology. I think there's a lot there that field that would benefit everybody.
What's your favorite memory from life?
My dad gave me this little kit. It was like an electronics kit, and it had these little modules that you plug into it, and you can make a radio and other various things. And I remember playing with that. That was a good memory.
Okay, what's your least favorite memory?
Trauma. There's a lot of those least favorite memories, but I don't really like.
Maybe outside of it. Sorry.
It is what it is.
Jay, you got a question?
When you learn new things, how do you go about it? You didn't ask that, right?
No.
When I learn new things, I get on my computer and read and watch a lot of YouTube videos and decide the course of action that I'm going to take, what's going to be the best way. And I try to approach it from as many different directions, like sensory, visual. Well, I guess that's sensory. I talk about it with other people, kind of get, bounce ideas off of them, which is really nice because my son is an ENTP and my significant other is an ENFP. So they have all kinds of ideas, and I'll get them involved. I sleep on it, meditate about it. just try to, figure out everything I can when I want to learn something. And
can you walk us through your last 24 hours from start to finish?
24 hours. So that was 11:07 yesterday. I mean, for you guys, it was 12:07. I was finishing eating lunch about that time.
Mm-hmm.
And preparing packages to ship. No, I may have been, and I got done with that in a couple of hours, I guess, and then I took them to UPS. And got back home. Let the cats out. Nothing really major happened yesterday. I wanted things to happen, but sometimes I have to recover after I leave the house and just chill out for a bit. Plus, the day before that, I had like a medical procedure done, so I'm still kind of recovering from that. I had to fast, and I'm just trying to get back, my brain back online with calories and stuff.
You say you work out. What got you into working out and why?
Back in 2013 is when I really started getting into it. I noticed that my butt was getting flat because I was sitting on it all the time playing video games and isolating, and I'd gotten really sucked into my agoraphobia. I wasn't leaving the house, and I was fed up. It was like I had a moment of clarity, saw what I was doing. I was like, and I signed up to get in a local wellness center, and I used to work out 2 to 3 hours a day too. I missed that. That's a good memory. All the working out and focusing on getting healthy. But yeah, that was my motive. Was just tired of being what I was.
Shelly, you ready to conclude, or you want more?
Yeah. I think I'm done.
Yeah. So what we got from you, well, let's just talk about it. You talked about what was most important to you, so that'd be FI. Earlier, you talked about dream interpretation. That was early in. You talked about dream interpretation. That's abstract. Dream interpretation is abstractions. You talked about wanting to be successful. You said, "Oh, things didn't happen here, but I still think I'm successful." So that's more TFI. Very rebellious. That's pragmatic. You like to be together. You could be together in a room with somebody, but not like working with them. You talked about like progress, like you didn't care as long as you was making progress. So what I noticed, and this is me, you come off very direct. Shelly, did you get that? Yes. Okay, Shelly, what else did you get?
Pragmatic also.
Yeah, you openly talked about the best way to do something. If you were going to learn a new thing or whatnot, you talked about the best way to do that. That's usually in the realm of systematic. And for me, this is me personally, I think when people list that, that's more of an NT thing because they're looking for the best way to do something in a pragmatic sense with that, If it doesn't work, you're not going to do it. So to me, it's kind of systematic, pragmatic at the same point. And you're direct and you're responding. You didn't interrupt or change the subject at all. It was hardcore responding. You also talked about not leaving the house. There's so many like materials in there where you were talking about being alone and whatnot, how you struggle with people, that whole thing. So you're direct, responding, pragmatic, and systematic, and TFI user. So that by default makes you an INTJ. Sorry to break it to you. Why'd you laugh?
Well, I was just thinking, well, now that justifies my plans to become a villain that takes over the world. You know, they like to do in fiction and make out INTJs. We make such great villains. I don't know. I think the ENTPs make even better. The ENTP villains are just.
Oh, you talking like the Joker?
Yeah. That's I watch a lot of anime, so think of some. They're always just. They don't care. They have no affiliations but themselves. And, you know.
I always find that they never have ENTJ villains. And I think the most likely person to be a villain would probably be the ENTJ.
They're effective.
You know,
yeah, I think they just wouldn't get caught. That's probably why there aren't any.
Huh?
They just wouldn't get caught. That's why there aren't any.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to think about a villain, I guess because people like to put villains alone. You know, I guess that whole thing where they put villains alone, and then they have that warped FI, that like shitty warped FI that they use, you know, where they feel like they're doing the right thing because that's how they interpret it from their moves. And the alone
they can
thing.
be really hubristic too.
Yeah.
I've seen that, like Gold Dukat on DS9. He's an ENTJ, and he was just at the end. He had gotten so consumed by his obsession with somebody, with another guy on there. It's hard for me to remember things like that, but yeah, he just ended up self-defeating. I mean, he had set up an empire and everything, and that's a lot of times I'll see like, oh, what is it? There's a newer anime. It's like this ENTJ set up this, had a system set up, all these people working for him, and the sneaky INTJ comes in and acts like he's aligned with his objectives, and then but he's not, and then just waits the last minute when the guy is like down on the ground and stabs him in the back.
I always found that pretty interesting. Man, I mean, I think it takes a certain personality to run an empire. And I think with an INTJ having SE inferior, that'd be very tough.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with people all the time. And you got to be okay with that. Deal with people all the time, at any time. There's a lot of people-centric shit, you know.
Yeah, it ain't happening for me. I know that. ENTJs are way better equipped for that.
I mean, I think INTJs are really good too, but it's like, whoo, you know, people can be a lot. Even sometimes I'd be like, sometimes it's dumb people like fucking fry me. Like dumb people, like after I've been around like dumb people for a long time, I get fucking fried. Like, yeah. Or like people that's like going nowhere in life, I can get fucking fried. Or like the motherfuckers who be like, well, I want this in life. And I look at, like, I can literally look at somebody in 30 seconds and tell where you're going in life. Literally in 30 seconds. I can look at you and be like, this person's going fucking nowhere. Like 5 years from now, he's going to be the same person he is today. And you'll be like, oh man, I'm trying this shit, man. Man, quit that bullshit, man.
Yeah, it is aggravating.
Well, you know, that's just me. People just hit you with excuses, and it's like, yo, it's not that hard to just fucking suck it up, fucking suck ass for fucking 2 years, put your head down, you'll be in a way better position. But no, they don't want to fucking do that. And then they look at you and say, oh, you lucky. Like, no, motherfucker, no.
Worked hard, you know? It's lucky. It's not about luck. Just gotta,
there's
one foot in front of the other.
There is a certain avenue of luck, but people want to be around people that are getting things done, you know, or moving somewhere, or, you know, including other people, you know. So it's people. I can't be around people like that for too long. Like people that make up a lot of excuses or whatnot. I can't be around them for too long because it's just like the fries. It is what it is, and I'll end up like calling them like worthless or trash or whatever, and then I'm the bad guy. It turns on me. I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy. So, yeah. But it was nice to meet you. Unfortunately, you're an INTJ. I'm so sorry.
That's cool. INTJs are great.
Yeah, no cure for your social issues. Sorry.
I gotta ask you a question. So, how do you feel about FE?
I try not to be ugly about how I feel about it, but it's not my favorite function. I mean, I know some INFJs. As a matter of fact, I'm in this little group that I've recently joined to kind of stretch. A couple of people in there are INFJs, and I have a lot of respect for them, and I see that they have a place in the world. You know, they're good at guiding. They're good at doing the stuff that I am not good at doing. And I try really hard to respect that function, but sometimes it's kind of like icky, kind of, especially when I try to do it. I have. My mom was an ISFJ, I'm pretty sure, so FE was a big thing in my house. Women are supposed to be FE, and I tried, and it was disgusting. I didn't do it right, and
okay. So what I've noticed is that like a lot of times INTJs can believe they're actually good with FE. Like they will like. Sometimes Shelly goes through her little episodes where she's like, thinks she's good with FE, and I'm like, Shelly, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then I ask a question like, are you married, when I don't know if you know, could have had a significant other that just died or something, you know.
It's like they think they're good, but then it's really
probably not
bad.
appropriate to ask.
I do that too. Yeah, I just kind of socially blunder sometimes. And I have thought that I was doing FE things when in fact I was doing TE things. I mean, I do things for the tribe around here. You know, the thing that I do is I fix people's things. I help, you know, with finances and that sort of stuff. And that's kind of FE, kind of, right? I mean, you know.
Well, I think you're being tricked by your trickster, but whatever.
No.
I think you're getting tricked by your trickster, but whatever, you know, whatever helps, you know. But how do you feel about the past, or like memories, or like that type of thing?
It's very blurry.
But how do you feel about it? Like,
how I feel about it? It's there, but it doesn't make, well, I guess it kind of does influence who I am, but it's just not as valuable to me as what I can do now and how that's going to affect the future. The past, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Usually they don't like they don't care about the past. It's essentially is what I was looking for. Like I don't care. They don't really care about the past. Like I don't care about the past at all either. But like INTJs don't even play that game. They're just like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, well, it was nice to meet you. Like we said earlier. Thank you
so much for doing this.
Hey, like we said earlier, unfortunately, you're an INTJ. I guess it sucks. You didn't want to be one, but hey.
Oh no, I mean it's okay. I just wanted to know something, you know. Here I am, like, am I ISTJ or am I INTJ? And if I do get into typology and do that for a profession, I'd like to be able to say I'm this, you know. And it's I was kind of confounded. So knowing that I'm something is good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you guys too. Shelly, you got any closing arguments? Anything you want to say?
No.
You got anything you want to ask us? Damn, she's hardcore responded. Hardcore responded.
So. I mean, if I do, I'll just get in the group. And I really like that group, by the way.
Thank you.
So definitely got some energy that I'm into myself. The whole, you know, fitness and nutrition. I see a lot of that there, and that's an important part of what I'm doing too.
I've been kind of going crazy sometimes with the anti-aging stuff. I am a anti-aging zombie. Like I like want to like prolong that shit forever. So I'd be like watching nonstop videos on anti-aging shit.
Fasting, circadian rhythm, all that
autophagy,
stuff.
Like a lot of people do the fasting for like, I think Dr. Brad did 7-day fast. I think he's an INTJ. That motherfucker 7-day fast. 7 days. I said, what?
I don't know. How do you take your meds? You know, I gotta take a bunch of meds.
7-day fast. Can you? He has a video on YouTube where he did that shit. I'm like, Dr. Brad. I'm like, bro, I can't. I don't even think I could go a day. I don't even think I go 24 hours fasting.
Yeah, it's
unless
hard.
I slept all. Well, I don't think I could. I really don't think I could because my body would get too hungry because I have too much muscle mass.
Yeah,
so,
you
like,
need the calories.
My shit would make me start getting like lightheaded very soon. So I'd be like, I gotta eat something. But I do like sleep a lot. Like I can just sleep. But then like I'll start getting this feeling to where like my body's starting to slow down, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I could do it because I didn't have so much muscle mass. But now it's just it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But yeah, post anything you want in the group. We do the monthly calls. I'm excited to see you this month. I'm trying to get over 11 members. If I don't get over 11, I'm gonna go crazy.
Well, I'm gonna try and plan to be there if it's the time is.
I swear.
What time is it gonna be?
I think 4. I think last time we had 4. I'm going to unleash.
Which would be 3:00 my time.
Yeah, I'm going to unleash SE Child all over you motherfuckers if I don't have more than 11. Okay, it's gonna be non-stop posts in the group. I'm gonna blow that shit up, and I got that handy dandy everyone button on the admin. So
yes,
don't make me use that shit.
Everybody's been hitting that since it came out. I'm like, there it is. Somebody else is using it. I mean, it's very handy if you're running a group.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and we'll see you around. It's been an absolute pleasure.